In addition to some very cool new toys, Modern Horizons 2 has presented us a batch of reprints. Some very expensive cards in the past are now going to be very accessible right now because of this new set.
I hope you're ready to not FOMO out, but also run to the stores, trample over whoever you can, and buy these cards as quickly as possible without thinking about any other human being. The video starts right now.
Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below. Shop at TCG Player using our link in the description below and directly help our channel.
Hello and welcome to the day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. We're going to talk about Modern Horizon 2 reprints and 6 cards that you should be targeting pretty soon to get a really good price on them. But before we do get into this topic, if you would go down there, hit that like button if you like the video. By the end of it, hit that dislike button if you don't.
It's the best way to support the channel with just the click of a button. We're going to talk about some new scarce Modern Horizons 2 cards that were just reprinted, and they're going to come out very soon, and you're going to want them whether you actually want them or not. Your brain is going to trick you. You're going to have to go out and get them no matter what. Let's get into the cards.
Yeah, we don't make the rules. All right, Jake, I think the first biggest target that everybody is super interested in the reprint of is Cabal coffers. This is a $100 plus uncommon from Torment. And previously we got the Friday Night Magic promo and we got the Plane Chase version. In addition to this version being printed into the set, Jake, we also get this version. Ooh, sexy alternate borderless alternate scratch and sniff hover.
I am excited about this reprint. This is a card that's needed a reprint for a very long time. Like you said, very scarce card. Biggest, most expensive card in Torment for the longest time has been an uncommon. Expect there to be a correction on this price. And if you are, vigilant, start looking at cards like Gemstone Caverns from TSR as comparisons. Make sure that you get this when it is nice and cheap. This is a mythic, so don't expect a huge dip in price.
Uncommon reprinted at Mythic. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I would expect the card though to get down as low as like $45 to $50, hopefully cheaper. Maybe you could even snag a foil at around $60 if this is one of those cards that you've been waiting for a long time for your EDH deck. You've been proxying a Cabal coffers. No time like the present.
Absolutely. It's a really cool, powerful card. Commander staple, going to be around forever, never going to be banned for any reason. So it's just a card that's always going to retain value, especially since they reprinted it at Mythic. But giving it that borderless alternate version does hopefully drive the price of the regular booster copy down just a little bit. Jake, second up, we've got your old boy favorite.
Essentially the flagship ambassador of scarcity, right? This is one of those P3K cards that until it was reprinted, it had only a judge printing as well. It was as high as like $350. And then when it came out, after it had been reprinted a couple times, I believe it was in Masters 25, and now we're seeing it was also in Double Masters, I believe, and now it's also popping up here. We can just expect a bigger and bigger dip. When you have a card that pretty much had all of its value derived from only being scarce and then played in like one legacy deck, it really speaks a lot to what happens at these card prices once you actually do reprint them. So Imperial Recruiter, this is one of those cards again. It is going to be legal and modern, so there are going to be some people that are trying to find a home for this card, and it will be multiples if it's played in modern. So it is seeing a little bit of an uptick, but once the set comes out, you can expect this card to probably hover around like 15 to 20 bucks as well, even at Mythic, in my opinion.
Yeah, that Portal 3 Kingdoms copy, 200 plus, like you were talking about, Masters 25, Double Masters, now Modern Horizons 2. This is another one. These mythics, we're also getting the borderless alternate version of Imperial Recruiter.
And that has Kiki Jiki and Pestermite in it, in the art, which is part of the big combo of this card. WotC really leaning into the memes behind the cards.
Absolutely. I think we've seen that more with this set than any set in the past that's not an unset. I think that they're showing a little more willingness to be tongue-in-cheek with their sets, which, if it's in the right context, like a reprint set or a new kind of a Horizons set, I'll call it. I'm fine with it being like that in the context of it. that set. I do like this Imperial Recruiter version here, but it's obviously going to command the higher price. Jake, we've got a EDH enchantment staple up after that.
Yeah, Miraris Wake, 1 white, 1 green, 3 other for an enchantment. Spoiler, we love enchantments.
They're
creatures
sticky.
That's right. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any type that land produced. So pretty big card here. Essentially, it's, you know, it should remind us of cards like Caged Sun, right? Any type of land doubling effect, and then that Anthem tacked onto this card as well. Makes it really attractive for, you know, a lot of different strategies.
That comparison to Caged Sun, I mean, you look at Caged Sun, you pick a color and it doubles all of that color, but Miraris Wake is 1 CMC less at 5, where Caged Sun is 6. And this is whenever you tap a land for mana, add a mana of any type that land produced, which can even include colorless. And so this is the kind of effect, especially at 5 CMC on an enchantment, is just going to be huge. It being a commander card, though, Jake, I think that this will be the copy that everyone will be looking for in foil. It's a dope looking piece. In foil, I imagine it's going to look absolutely ridiculous. It's going to be a really good time just to pick up copies of this at, you know, 10 to 15 bucks, especially within the first 3 to 4 weeks of this set, because people will just be trying to unload them, trying to recoup the cost of these ridiculously high value boxes. Absolutely insane. Jake, that's a $20 card. Let's jump it back up into the $40 range and look at a really cool reprint that I'm very excited about. Patriarchs bidding.
Only 1 printing, and then it was also gold border printing. This is one of the cards that I first put into my red-black wart deck. Again, any type of tribal strategy is going to want this card.
Very cool that they've got the werewolves on there. You know, this could have easily been a vampire art card as well, but giving that sort of werewolf lean to it as a little illusion of us going to Innistrad this year. I like when they do little threads like that that sort of connect the sets when we're looking at a core set or a modern master set or some kind of Horizon. It's kind of cool that they do that. Nice time to pick up a $45 sorcery, I would say. So, Jake, Solitary Confinement's kind of a weird enchantment. This is a $13 card. It's only been printed in Judgment, but it still holds a solid value because it is such a strong enchantment.
Yeah, it's a very specific, very niche and powerful effect, right? At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Solitary Confinement unless you discard a card. So if you have cards in hand or a way to get cards in hand, you know, and you do have to circumvent the other parts of the card, which are skip your draw step, and you have Shroud, which is the whole point of the card, but prevent all damage that would be dealt to you as well. So it is one of these cards that your opponents have to deal with if they want to get to you, and you are limited by the number of cards that you have, but there are very degenerate ways to keep your hand filled.
Yeah, especially in EDH. It's a nice little avoidance survival tactic here. Let us know down in the comments if this is like a 4 of in some constructed deck that we're not aware of. Like we said, we're only looking at these through the lens of EDH, and so I know that some decks will run Solitary Confinement, but now is when the price of that card being a Judgment only $13 card, we're going to see the price of this card go down as it's a rare in Modern Horizons 2. Jake, last card, Sterling Grove, a white and a green for an enchantment that says enchantments you control have Shroud, and you can use it to tutor an enchantment to the top of your library by sacrificing it and paying 1.
Yeah, and that's a very good effect to use at the EOT if you're looking for something very specific. Tutor it up, put it on the top right before your draw step, you're good to go. Big thing about this card, again, is this has so much to do with scarcity. So other enchantments you control have Shroud. It's just like very good for any type of enchantment strategies, and this is going to be most likely, in my opinion, it's probably going to be a sideboard card for certain decks in Modern, but I think it's really going to thrive in EDH.
Yeah, absolutely. Scarcity is absolutely right, Jake. Invasion only. That's the only set this card was ever printed in. $16 right now. At rare, this is going to go way down. And look, I don't know if you saw the name at the bottom of this card, but that name down there is Seb McKinnon, and we know what happens to Seb McKinnon art cards, especially, you know, 2 mana, highly powerful enchantments. This is exactly the kind of card that you want to target right now while it's going to be in that, you know, $10 or less range.
Yeah, it will probably go less just because it's a rare and, again, very scarce when it's only 1 printing and it's printed into a mass open set. I don't care who put the art on the card. It could have been Van Gogh. It's not going to be enough to prop up the price of this very niche specific card.
This is going to be a very expensive product, and I'm hoping that we will see even more of these high value reprints and new cards come out of this set, because Jake, something's got to justify this to my accountant.
That's right. And if you did enjoy the video, click like and subscribe.
Yep, we got a new video about the old border cards that you should be targeting coming out in the next week or two. I think I'm tapped out.